Welcome back. A Manitoba First Nations leader is waving a red flag today. Grand Chief Morris Shannacappo says it's over plans by Indian Affairs to hand out a $25,000 contract to an ex-bureaucrat. It's going to someone who just left the department last fall. Contract is also being funneled through a program aimed at giving Aboriginal businesses federal government contracts. Shannacappo believes it's another example of Indian Affairs shutting out Aboriginal communities from economic development. We spoke to him earlier. Grand Chief Shannacappo, welcome to our show and thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you very much, Todd.
Now, Grand Chief, what troubles you the most about the way this contract was awarded?
What troubles me the most is, we get accused for nepotism or whatever, awarding this and that, and here the federal government is carrying on these practices themselves by awarding this contract to a former government employee, and the contract involves finding out how economic development is handled here in the region and how the money is being spent, and the person that was awarded the contract is very non-Indian friendly, and we know that the results of the study or his findings are going to be very negative towards our people and the usage of the money here in the region.
Well, I guess what would that mean if his findings were negative? How could that hurt First Nations?
Well, how it's going to hurt First Nations is that they're going to want to stay in control. They're going to want to control the processes on economic development. I mean, it's hard enough already to be able to access any monies for economic development for our communities, and a lot of these communities want to build self-sustainable development, and by bringing in business into their own communities, so that the money we're told that goes to Indian First Nations, $14 billion, we're lucky to see about 7 cents on the dollar on that, and if that is not circulated in the community, then it's just money in and money out, and someone else is getting rich, and the community certainly doesn't get an opportunity to have good economic development or good sustainable economic development within the community.
Now, I understand this contract was not only awarded to an ex-bureaucrat, but through the Aboriginal Set-Aside program. I guess what's the trouble with that?
Well, it was how it was done, Todd. You know, we have the Merck's abstract here, and the contract was awarded to a numbered company, and then we went ahead, one of the chiefs had asked, find out what the numbered company is. We'll do a search. We did a search, and sure enough, it's a former bureaucrat that came from a higher upper level from Ottawa, and again, who had nothing good to say about Indian economic programs and said that it was a waste of money in the past.
I suppose at this point, what can you do about this, the awarding of this contract?
Well, we had met with Ann Scotton last week, and Regional Chief, I'm standing here with Regional Chief Bill Travers to support what we are doing and what we are saying, and I'm asking Ann Scotton, who also did an audit on the region here on INAC under Mary Blaise's regime, and we're asking her to do the same thing, to do an audit on how these contracts are being passed out and just given freely. And this is Aboriginal monies that aren't being used to hire Aboriginals to be able to do these studies. And of course, Regional Chief Bill Travers will be taking the matter to the AFN level, because when I asked Regional Bill, Chief Bill, were you aware of this? Did you know what was going on? And he said, absolutely not. This is the first time I've heard about it since he brought it to our attention.
At this point, can you get involved, get a lawyer or bring this to court? Is there some sort of legal mechanism available to you at this point?
Oh, I'm certain there is, but again, you know how government is. When you sue them, they'll try and play out everything until these poor Indians are broke and can no longer afford gas money to even get to the courthouse. And that's how we've been treated in the past, and I'm certain that practice is still going to resume. However, we are going to certainly look at different avenues and different venues that we can take this to make sure that, you know, justice is served, and to make sure that our people are treated in a proper, respectable manner.
Okay, Grand